Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 2013 Turbo National Men's Soccer Game of the Week presented by the SCAA and Admiral Soccer. Tonight's spotlight includes Concordia, Oregon University against Hastings College. Cavs versus Broncos live on SCAA-TV.com. I'm Rob Greisinger, live from Lloyd Wilson Field in Hastings, Nebraska. Now, these two teams come in ranked 11th and 13th. Both missed out in the same round of the same tournament. There was actually a setup where both teams could have played each other, but they both lost, so it's a moot point. These two teams last faced off against each other in 2008, and it'll be two coaches who are good friends off the pitch who will be facing each other here tonight. Concordia, Oregon, that is. There's a couple other schools named Concordia, and one of those is on Hastings' schedule, but this is the one. These are the Cavaliers from Portland in Cascadia, where, well, it's pretty much the soccer capital of the United States, coming to the heartland of America to face off against one of the premier NAIA programs in Hastings College. And another similarity, both these teams had 16 wins last year, and, well, it's going to be hot on the pitch, literally, as the temperature here in Hastings is in the high 80s to lower 90s. Last look at the mercury, it was 91, but on the field turf, it's going to be even a lot hotter than that, and we will have all of it for you, and some coming up in just a little bit. We'll hear from the coaches. But for right now, we're going to take a break.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, pleasure.
I'm a senior at Concordia University, Irvine. Concordia is about discovery, discovering what your interests are and what you're passionate about. It's about developing the skills you need to serve the world around you. It's about pursuing what you love and helping you turn your vision into a reality. My name is David Dargitz, and I found my gifts at Concordia University. I'm a senior.
Rising from the south central Nebraska prairie is Hastings College. Founded in 1882, this private four-year liberal arts institution is dedicated to high academic achievement, intellectual discovery, and deliberate mentoring. It's all about community, athletics, music, the arts. It's where you'll enjoy a vibrant college experience while preparing for a successful career and a meaningful life. Hastings College in Hastings, Nebraska.
Back in Hastings, Nebraska, Turbo Sports presenting the NAIA Game of the Week. Here on the last day of August, and it's a scorcher here in Hastings, Nebraska. The two coaches for today, well, as I said at the top of the show, they are good friends, and for good reason, but first focus on the visiting manager, as some of them are known, is Dan Berkey, who is entering his 26th year as the head coach of the Concordia, Oregon Cavaliers, and he comes in with a record that is 6th best of all active NAIA coaches with a win total of 335, and his counterpart is not far behind him, and his good friend Chris Crange is up and around the 200 range. Don't have the exact number in front of me, but we spoke to both of them, and, well, they both almost echoed each other. But one concern, match fitness, transition, and, of course, that heat. Because match fitness as it is always a concern in any soccer match. But today, a little bit more. As I said, 91, the last check of the mercury. And on the pitch, it's going to be a lot hotter than that, around 100 to 105, maybe even hotter than that. Because field turf has these little black pellets in it that absorbs heat like a sponge. And, well, it's like an extra layer of black. So we will, as we begin getting closer and closer to kickoff, we'll see what the coaches had to say. What must you do to change that?
Well, I'm not worried. I think I want to be prepared, and I'm prepared for a hard-working, very organized and hardy Hastings team. That's why we're here. Out of the multitude of different options, we're here because of the legacy that Hastings has and Chris has with his teams, regardless of personnel changes. And when you have chances to play teams prior to your conference, you have that chance to pick and choose, don't you? And so we've chosen Hastings because of the caliber of team that they are, and the history of the program and their character. It's a team that demands respect.
So how do you feel about
you lose Jordan Green, who was scored 28 goals last year, was first team All-American, so you got to find somebody to replace him. And I think we found an answer to that. But as a team, I think we've developed. I think the guys have bought into the system, into the style of play, and so I'm interested and excited about the game today and see kind of where we're at against a great team and a quality opponent and in a program that we have respect for. And so this is a great test for us, see kind of where we are and what we need to do for the future.
Now, what are going to be your points of emphasis tactically today against this opponent?
Well, I think the first one, obviously, with the heat is to manage the game properly. I think we have to be able to manage, us physically, mentally, because it will be hot, and so we're going to have to manage certain aspects of the game and make sure that we're not overextending ourselves a little too much, where we maybe lose a lot of energy and fitness in the first part of in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. So, transitionally, we got to, I think that's a big emphasis I have is how well we do both in the attack and defensive side of transition, and and possessionally, what do we do with our possession? Are we making smart decisions on and off the ball? So those are some of the things that I'm looking for right now, and we'll see.
So, and your opponent today, what worries you about them? What can you do to change that?
The Concordia, Oregon is a team similar to us. In the way they play, the way they execute, the way they work. And so when you play a team that's like you kind of worry a little bit about their execution and their work ethic and things like that. So, I don't think anything really ultimately worries me. All I'm worried about really is how we play, the result that we get, and that's really about it for me. I don't want to put too much emphasis on them. I want to put all the emphasis on us and make sure that we're doing what we need to do to get a result out of the game.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
La la tra la pleasure.
Well, as the national anthem plays here at Lloyd Wilson Field in Hastings, Nebraska, teams line up, face the flag, and Concordia, Oregon holding hands, and, well, they are going to be in blue, and they are going to be attacking the goal to my right, and Hastings in white, they will attack the goal to the left. And we'll bring you the starting 11. First for Concordia, up top are the two men that Hastings is going to have to look after quite a bit. First is Michael Chamberlain and Septi Danshu. Both combined for 8 goals last year. And in the midfield, it's Quinn Sinzer, Redcliffe McDougland, one of the captains, and Timur Zhivze. He'll be in the middle as well, and Sam Carmichael, the midfielder in the back line. It is going to be Ryan Candela, Jordan Green, Patrick Allrand, and Eli Glanor. And in goal will be Scott Gross. For Hastings, they will line up as such with a 3-man front. Drew Cobbs, Thomas Guthrie, and Jake Ramsey. And in the middle of the park, the midfielders, Felix Prosel occupy the left side, Jake Etsy, the holding midfielder, in the middle, and Thomas Boss on the other side, working pretty much a 4-3-3 formation. The back four, Leon Brody. He'll be the left back. The right back is Zach Giafigloni. And the two center halves, Tyler Ortlieb, along with Shane Davidson. That's the starting 11s. The officials, Brent Wilson is the referee, and the assistants are Jim Getz and Juan Camizo. Concordia huddling up, finalizing their last little bit of strategy as we are about to start the second game of the week of the season. This is the first match for both clubs, and Concordia will be kicking off. Do have the yard markers to help us out with the football field, along with the yellow lines on the soccer pitch. And we are all set to go. Just waiting for the whistle of Brent Wilson. Checks down towards what would be his left, or your right. Then he checks the other side, puts his whistle in his mouth, and we are underway. And it's going to be a long ball, all ready to start and into touch already. On the scoreboard, the clock does count down from 45. There are going to be stoppages if there is an injury or some other booking of some sort or talking to. Of course, you see it as a count up. And in the first minute, we haven't seen much, just a flick up high. And it was collected by the keeper for Hastings. Alex Geyer is coming in as a sophomore, played in 19 games, boots it up. And both teams will try to establish possession. There's a hard tackle right in front of me. Now back into the middle. Here's Danshu trying to find Chamberlain again, and Danshu got fouled in the process. That was Jake Essie, defensive midfielder, entering his senior season, and you'll want to forget the first minute and a half of it. Free kick, what would be the 28-yard line. About 38 yards out, just add 10 more yards onto the goal. It's lofted forward, and it doesn't miss, or it does miss anything, and it rolls out for a Hastings throw. On the far side, going to throw it on in. Back in, and it's won again by Concordia, who've established possession, and a hard, crunching little run into there. Chamberlain and Ortlieb getting to come into contact, and now it's Hastings who's going to try to come up the pitch. Guthrie in towards the middle, tried to play it infield for Jake Ramsey, who was making a run. He got blocked in front, though. And that's Patrick Allred's first note of the game. Battle on the far side, just kept in there, but it's played all the way back to the left back. And it looks like that was actually Shane Davidson moving over as Jeff Fagloni, the fullback, is going to move up. Far side touchline right in front of the benches, and it's out for a throw for Concordia. Throw it about 30 yards before it finally comes down at the feet of Davidson again, and now it's dropped down again. Trying to lift a run for Cobbs, who was trying to make a run down the left flank. Doesn't get there, though. Chipped up, trying to lead a ball in, and it doesn't quite work right there. Now it's up in the air again, the aerial ball going in, and here's Chamberlain trying to volley, and, well, it looked more like a field goal than it was an attempt at goal. Way too high goal kick. Entering the 4th minute now from Hastings, Nebraska. And the goalkeeper, Alex Geyer, started all 23 games last season for Hastings. Boots it up high and brings it down. Thomas Boss wearing number 10. Now it's a run along the far side flank. Play back in field and nobody there for Hastings. And it's McDougallin, one of the captains, wearing the armband, a red armband. Plays it back into the middle for Sam Carmichael. He's got a lot of traffic to deal with. He'll just bring it on the way back towards his back four, and he'll bring it up again high in the air. Knocked down again by Hastings. Going to see a lot of transition game. We saw both coaches mention that. Both teams play very similar, and that's not just the end of the similarities. Danchu tries to go around to run. He's inside the 18. Has a shot at goal. Save by Geyer. Just found a little spot in space, and he's able to get the first shot on target, and it's a save by a composed Geyer. Split two defenders who are about 2 or 3 yards apart, kind of just looking at him, and it'll be a corner as it rolled out. And McDougallin will take it for Hastings. Or for Concordia, rather. Played inside, volley, and it went off the top of the shin. Did not exactly get the exact sweet spot on the boot, and it'll roll over to the byline for a goal kick here in the first 5 minutes. Well, it's been back and forth. We've seen one shot. It belongs to the visitors in blue, the Cavaliers of Concordia. Now, there is another Concordia on Hastings' schedule, and that's down the road. If you make the trip from Omaha west, you'll see a sign for Concordia University, but that's not the one that's playing here today. They'll come here later in the season as part of the Great Plains Athletic Conference here in the NAIA. Throwing on the near side for Concordia. Chamberlain up in the air, battling there with Broody. And a chest down and an elbow right into the chest. Sam Carmichael gives up a free kick. Broody took a hard elbow right into the ticker. Appears to be shaken up right there. Didn't look like he provoked anything, just a hard challenge. So Jake Essie will take the free kick. About 51 yards from goal, and it misses the head of Guthrie. The clearing attempt is knocked down inside the center circle. Tumbling to the deck there was the freshman for Concordia. Doesn't amount to anything. Timur Zhivze. Concordia maintaining possession up in the air again. Going to be a battle of aerial balls, it seems like, here in the early going. Back and through to the penalty arc, and a volley up in the air it's going to be another corner, as it appears to have been deflected by Ortlieb. 7th minute here, and the second corner already for Concordia. It's been back and forth for the most part. It's played low and along the field turf, just outside the arc, and there was a foul inside the box. And I believe it was called by the referee's assistant here on the near side. The referees will converge and talk about it. Clock continues to roll. Seems to be a quick conversation. And we play on. So the foul was inside the box. That goes against Concordia. Got a player tying his boot just inside the 6. Sam Carmichael, and he'll get up. He actually played it rather close to Guyru, who will take the goal kick. Now Cobbs comes up with it, and he loses it as he went to battle with Ryan Candela. Candela has a throw on the near side, just in front of the halfway line, cheats his way up forward, looking for Chamberlain. He heads it twice, comes down off the head of Carmichael. And Hastings will take control of it right here. This is Shane Davidson, one of the center backs, plays up forward in an almost dangerous collision between Chamberlain and Carmichael. Comes up, looks like it went off the hand, and it did, apparently. That one called by the referee's assistant on the far side. Referee had seen the back, so he couldn't see exactly if it had gone off his forearm or not, and it did. Took an odd bounce in the air, so that's the result of that. Glainer looking again. There's another handball, but it doesn't get called because, well, in the rule book there is no handball. It's actually defined as handling. Ball deflected off the hand, and it's sort of like a ball going off the foot in basketball. It has to be deliberately kicked in order for it to actually be declared a kick. Same thing with the hand in soccer. So no call there. Bounced off the head, then down on the hand, and it rolled. Really actually would have benefited Concordia, but they instinctively just started to put their hand up. Said at the top of the show, both teams winning 16 games. Concordia with a slightly better record, though, with 4 losses and 2 draws. But Hastings is going to come across. Here's Cobbs through, into the 6, takes a shot, missed it wide. Just hooked it with his left foot. And Hastings with their first try, it's just hooked wide. And some nice 1-2 work from Hastings. So I was talking about Concordia's record last year, it's Hastings that comes up with a chance. Hastings finished last year. The Broncos with a 16-7 record. Now it's Gross's turn to lift one up forward. Now another run coming along here, this time on the opposite side. Thomas Boss making that one. Tackled away by Jordan Green. But now the fullback, Allred, having trouble with it, and he's going to ask for some help from his mids. Now a push and tug battle, and eventually coming away with it is Concordia on the far side. Doug McDouglan ends up with it. Dan shooting to Chamberlain, 1-2. About 25 yards out, here comes a run on the near side, flags up. So the far side run is called back on an offside call. And with that, there'll be a play up from the penalty arc. We'll remind you that you can purchase a video download of any contest of this fall's Game of the Week series by heading to our website at www.turbosportsgroup.com. Make the order, and Turbo Sports will send you an email link, and you can download the game in full, which is yours to keep forever. 0-0 in the score column, but 2 chances for Concordia, 1 for Hastings. Hastings with the ball now off of a goal kick, tackled away on the far side, but it's wasted as it's launched forward by the back 4, and a little trouble ball. Well, it could have, and it was handled as well as Dan Berkey, the head coach for Concordia, would have liked it. It was a head, and back down it comes to the goalkeeper inside the box, so it's not going to be trouble there, and Chamberlain shoves off right there, so Jake Essie earns his team a free kick just outside the center circle in his defensive half. 12th minute. Back and forth it goes. It's going to really be about finishing, it appears. Number 11 versus number 13. But 13 has the home field advantage. Got a good couple hundred here in the stands, despite the heat, here on the last day of August. Near side now. Hastings with possession. This is Jake Essie trying to pick somebody out. He tried to go forward for Guthrie. But Hastings maintaining possession now at a shaky first 10 minutes. Trying to get themselves comfortable here in a non-conference game. Both teams also having trouble out of conference last season in a hard, troubling play. There were some studs raised in there. The 8's going at it. Prudy just about put his studs right into the calf of Timur Zhivze. But the referee says play on. And for now, it'll be let go. And it only takes one of those plays to make it chippy. Over on the far side, it's a throw and thrown in. Knocked down and a give and go by Concordia, and Quinn Cisner with his first touch of the match. He tried a through ball for Danchu, and he nearly wasted it and claps his hands in frustration. Ooh, and flirting there with that 18-yard box line. Really, the 10-yard line is the trouble spot there. Almost started the punt inside the 18. There's another push off. Lots of pushing and shoving between forward and defenders. Takes a awkward bounce. Looked like it was going to come to the feet of Chamberlain. It didn't. Another pushing and tugging match up there. Really has to be deliberate pull on the shirt for it to be a foul. Guthrie back to Prosel. And through ball attempt again. Comes into the 18-yard box. And the keeper comes out and collects. 15 minutes into the match, and it's been back and forth. Been looking more like a tennis match. Everybody turning their head to their right and left equally. Little battle at the 20-yard line, which is about 30 yards to the goal. It ends up going forward and then out right in front of the Hastings bench. Now Hastings with a little bit of space in their own half, going to try to pick somebody out. It's Drew Cobbs who was the intended target. Gets away from him, but now he ends up with it after a bad bounce. And now Guthrie had it. Now there's a go! Oh, and just missed near post. Good shot inside the 18, and that one was deflected according to the referee. And we'll have a corner. This one is the first one for Hastings. Will come from the near side. And Thomas Boss, the number 10, going to wear it. Number 10 is usually a commander on the soccer field, and it's no coincidence that he wears the armband. And the corner is a poor one. It was low and hammered away at by Concordia. Now could be a 1v2 situation. Here's Danchu and a clip. And there's an... Well, is that a foul or not? No, it's not. Turned to look up the pitch to see if Danchu could have got the ball to Chamberlain, but the 1-2 combination, the 1-2 punch, really coming away with the raw end of the deal right there as it was tackled away by Leon Prudy, the left fullback for Hastings. 17th minute. And we've yet to really see any challenge worthy of any disciplinary action. But it's a free kick for Concordia, and it's a low line drive. It's right at Thomas Boss. He'll knock it forward. Concordia up with it again now at the back. Long ball from Sinzer. Zhivzek gives a little shove in the back there to Cobbs. Goes unnoticed, however. Cobbs ends up winning a throw-in after it last touches it. Now a flick on. Cobbs was the intended target, but in stepping in front of him is Candela, and he'll back pass it. Lofted up forward. Halfway line. Ooh, and an elbow. Again by Carmichael. Knocks over Prosel. It's a foul. Be a free kick for Hastings in the attacking half, middle third of the park. And Jake Essie will take it. He's going to survey it. Try to find the head of one of his teammates. And he just decides to sweep it and switch the field. Giafigloni, the right back for Hastings with that one, and now it's out. Near side touchline, attacking throw-in could be him, but it's quickly taken by Hastings. Boss was the throw-in and tried to chest it down. Guthrie did, and now it's a throw for Hastings as Broody drops it in at the feet of Cobbs, and now a twisting, bending ball, but calm read by the keeper. He'll direct traffic all the way up. He'll put the ball down just outside the 18-yard box, comes up to the 20-yard line and boots it up forward. Again, that 1-2 combo. Chamberlain and Danchu trying to find that little hole. Looked like Danchu had found it earlier, but it was a good save by Geyer. That's really the only good scoring chance for Concordia. Hastings thus far has had one themselves, and there's a more than obvious handball. Extended arm by Prosel, dropped to his feet. That's an easy decision. That's really the third time a ball has struck the hand of a Hastings Bronco. The referee's seen enough, and the next one's probably going to go in his book. So it's a free kick, 29-yard line on the football field. So it's about 35 yards from goal. It's going to be played along the turf for Danchu. It rolled out. Couldn't keep it in, so it'll be a goal kick for Hastings. 20 minutes played here in the game of the week. Second one here on NSCAA.com. Brought to you by the Turbo Sports Group. Goal kick taken, and it's up in the air. Low, comes down hard off the head of Carmichael. Now launching forward, Sinzer on the run. He's got support. Shivza, here's a go, save, punched off. Here's the rebound. Danchu just hooked it inside the near post, wrong side of the net, however. Golden opportunity there. And he just did not hook the boot enough to get it past the goalkeeper. Geyer was offline just a little bit, would have had to tuck it in near post, but he did it on the wrong side. So the quality of chances belongs to Concordia. Two guys go up to head it for Concordia, and they come away with it. Carmichael then launched it forward, and nobody going forward again for Concordia. The heat really could become a factor later in the game. You'd want to get a goal early in a game like this. Use the early energy and then play from there. But it seems now that the middle part of the match is going to be the fitter of the two teams is going to have to just wear the other one down. And offside by about half a boot length. Cobbs was barely, and was definitely a close play, and into the book goes Jake Essie. Was not happy about that one. And they're pointing their displeasure at the head official, Brent Wilson, in the middle. But it's really the referee's assistant's call. It's just the man with the whistle is the one who stops the play, and he's going to be the one who's going to get all the lip. And right there, a dissent yellow card comes right there, and Jake Essie, one of the anchors in the middle of the park for Hastings, goes into the book. Already playing with a yellow card, really an unnecessary yellow card if you're coming from the coach's perspective. And it's also a free opportunity for Concordia to launch one forward, and it's dealt with well there by Ortlieb. Throw-in, attacking throw-in near side right at the corner flag, and it comes down, and this could be a counterattack coming. It's going to be 3v4, but it could be more if Thomas Boss can deliver a clean ball onto the forward. Score! Jake Ramsey slides that one in along the turf, and no doubt he'll have some pellets in his socks, but I think he'll trade that one. And it's 1-0 Hastings. Well, Boss curled it to the right guy who had a man on him, and Ramsey puts the hosts on top by 1. So Concordia going to try to attack right away, and it comes off the boot of Zhivzin. Now another long ball for Cobbs. He's onside this time. Flag stays down. He's in the 18. Cutting towards the 6. In the box. He's shoved off of it. Tripping over there is the defender, and it'll be eventually collected by the keeper. And, well, it could have been another 2-0 lead right away, but instead it's held, and, well, we continue with a 1-0 score here in the 25th minute. Little ping pong going on there, and it comes down. And more contact there. Nothing to be concerned about, though. Cobbs pushed by Candela. Now Candela will throw the ball in, but he's not happy with the movement up front with his teammates. He'll have to throw it to Chamberlain, and nearly grabbing and climbing on top. Chamberlain right there was Peruti. Throw in. And the decision goes Concordia's way as they handle possession quite a bit right now. Here's McDougallin back into the middle. Zhivza, 25 yards out. Comes in and a tackle by Essie. Got to be careful when you're making a tackle like that, but he got the ball, and he'll move forward. And a good quelled play. And now it looks like we've got more like a four-quarter game as clock is stopped and see a chance for both teams to hydrate. Really a good installed little break here. One of the things about soccer, you play 2 halves all the way through, but they get the benefit of a water break, and while we do that, we'll remind you about soccer's biggest party. Join us in Philadelphia on January 15th to the 19th so you can network, learn, along with coaches, peers, administrators, referees, business leaders, players, and fans. That's at the 2014 NSCAA Convention. No other event matches the excitement and energy of these jam-packed 4 days. Visit nscaa.com/convention for details and to register today. That's also usually where the MLS draft is held in conjunction with that. So both teams getting a much-needed hydration break about halfway through, so we'll see each team come back after a chance to get a sip. Really, this is the kind of heat that can dehydrate you just standing outside, but much less playing soccer where you are up on the horse, got a lot of space to roam around. That's where these breaks need to be installed in. And it's also been the talk of what might happen in, well, quite a bit of years from now in 2022 with the World Cup in Qatar. Might see 30-minute periods instead of 2 halves, but still got 9 years to look for that. As plays restarted, Hastings with a throw-in on the near side, and throw ball attempt to the goal scorer. Ramsey is thwarted as he did not anticipate it going in that direction. It's over the byline for a goal kick for Concordia. And each goal kick's been high, and this one comes down a little bit slower. Knocked down by Prosel for Hastings. Now an upwards volley. My Prosel now launched up again. Chamberlain going up, battling 1v1 in the air with Ortlieb. So now it looks a little more like a drill now that they've been knocking that ball around, and Ramsey flat-footed there, stumbled a little bit as he tried to find the open space that he discovered and make a run and get a 2-goal lead. But foul against Hastings. So Concordia will have another free kick. Long ball played up forward. Chamberlain, the intended target again. Really going to need some support. He can't do it all, but right now he's able to dribble his way out of it. McDougland now back towards the middle of the park. Carmichael outside of the far side. Quinn Cisner, here's a lofting ball inside. Took a hop as the keeper, Geyer, came down on it. And he makes the stop. Really, the 2 goalkeepers are going to have a mighty task because both teams have potent attacks. It's always interesting when 2 styles of play are shown, the same styles by both teams. Center flag gets knocked down and play is quickly restarted. That's what ball boys are for, and that's exactly what happens. Here's Cobbs. Got a feed from Prosel. He's blocked by Candela. Now a push-off foul there by Broody, and be headed back down to the south goal here at Lloyd Wilson Field. Home of the Hastings Broncos, both variations of football played here. Soccer fans, some of them will tell you that the ugliest sight is seeing the hash marks on the soccer pitch. Now here's another lofted ball for Cobbs. He's going to make a run. Flag stays down, cutting inside the 18. Thrown in. Score! Ramsey with the volley. And again, Ramsey, his toe puts Hastings on the board again. Second goal of the match. He had 5 last year. Now he's got 2 already against an opponent ranked higher than his. Now we saw Hastings try to make that play twice prior, both times. Didn't work out. One called offside, one resulted in a booking of Jake Essie, as he did not agree with the decision on the far side by the referee's assistant, but this time he'll take the end result of this one as we have our first substitution of the match, and it belongs to Hastings. It's going to be Nicholas Zarens. So we restart, and quickly Concordia giving it away. Some say that the 2-0 lead is the most dangerous, but right now Concordia just needs to get their head back into the game and do what they know how to do. And right now it's Chamberlain. 1-2 give and go for the freshman Jivza, and he does not handle it well. However, he does win a throw-in as one of the spectators is able to get a head on it. Didn't quite make the chain link fence, though. Chamberlain, top of the 18 with a left-footed strike to right into the face of one of the defenders. Ortlieb, the center half, been busy today. And high pressure there is the result of that throw. Went into touch now with a little bit of time and space. Hastings with it, and If that's not a holding foul, I don't know what is right there from Eli Goiner, but referee had a clear view of it. I guess he didn't say it impacted the play much. You're allowed to hold your ground, though, as a midfielder. Danchu in a perhaps goal-saving tackle. Tackled it away from Zhivzids. Leon Broody. So a throw in for Concordia. Near side, going to build the attack out of the back. Might see one of the fullbacks commit up forward to get that extra man up forward. That's the look of it right now. And going for the dagger right there, Cobbs missed a tackle. Was tackled away, and it appears that Candela, the one who did it, is a little bit shaken up, but again, you would expect to see some guys cramping up in this heat. And the sun going down will only help when it goes below the horizon. Here's another chance at a through ball, and it's thwarted again. Candela blocking Cobbs from a path down the left flank again. Knocked down and at the 30-yard line. Just sounds weird when you say it. Chamberlain knocked it down for Zhivzin. Now Chamberlain lofts it. Trying to slide down there. That's a bounce. Really, you can credit it to the pellets of the field turf. Multi-purpose facility here. Field turf was installed here in 2011, placing it from natural grass. And believe it or not, you still have to water field turf just to get the moisture in it so that the synthetic grass doesn't completely dry out and become brittle and break. So then you'd be playing on basically a trampoline. Waiting for the kick up forwards. That ball was still in play. Nobody from Hastings in this heat's going to challenge right there and just retreat back and defend the goal as more subs are about to be made. And this one is also going to be for Hastings. However, it wasn't their throw, so it'll stay with the lineup that we got right now. So Hastings now with it. Davidson and now Jake Essie. With space, one touch there. Long ball really hardly played towards Cobbs. He has space, flag down towards the corner flag. Can he catch up to it? Yes, he does, right at the byline. Tries to battle with Candela. Candela wins the battle as he's able to get it away and off the shins of Cobbs for a Concordia Cavs throw-in, and the final 14 minutes is going to be interesting because a 2-0 lead advantage, if it holds, or if they add on to it, really. 2-0 is a dangerous lead because you can lay back and then all of a sudden there's that energy should Concordia score. Essie, middle of the park. To the left side for Cobbs. Right-footed back square for the guy who got it to him. And Essie will tee one up from distance, and it's just a grounder. He got his heel over the byline. Goal kick for Concordia. Live stream games, rankings, releases, reviews, and more. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time to tune in for weekly college highlights and rankings show. There's nothing like this anywhere else, and you can only see it on NSCAATV.com. 2-0 to score. Equal chances really for both teams, and subs are going to be made. This is going to be Concordia's first change. It's going to be Candela who's going to sit. So Evan Courts is going to be the new sub. There's also a new number 14. It's going to be Pittston. And Chris Hawk for Hastings. That's the changes. Substitution rule is a little bit different in college soccer. You're allowed one re-entry in the first half, then they're unlimited in the second half. So you can really send your players forward, give them that little extra boost. Don't have to conserve energy quite like you do, say, in the pro ranks. Loose ball, it was going back and forth. And now Ramsey going to go on a run, and he runs right into Jordan Green. And it's going to be a booking and foul from Patrick Allred, who stuck his arm out there trying to impede the progress of Ramsey, and it's going to be a dangerous free kick in a dangerous spot. So the wall will be set up 10 yards away, and it's much easier to read it with the gridiron here. It's going to be taken by Thomas Voss. About 25 yards from goal. Referee sets the wall up. The yard lines match up. Here's a lofted lifter. Header offside. Flag went up instantaneously. And that one's coming back. Tyler Ortley thought he had put his team up by 3. And I don't think the fans are aware of it just yet. Well, picked out the target. Got it right on the forehead. Square into the back of the net, however. Cheated a little bit. So this is essentially a goal kick. It's about 7 yards away. If there was a 7-yard box. Would look weird, though. Middle of the park, center circle. Prosel lifting it forward now. He's going to go for the right side flank. Find Jake Ramsey out there, who's drifted back a little bit. Hastings wants another handball, but instead they're going to get an offside. As Hastings really going to try to throw that nail into the coffin just a little bit more. It'll be free kick this time right at the edge of the 18-yard box. And it's lifted up high in the air. 38th minute. And here comes another opportunity for a run. Here comes Zarens. His first touch is on the near side flank. Back inside. And poorly executed hack by Hawk. Still in the 18, though. Hastings with it. Zarens tries to go around right there, and two players converge on it. But was a clean play. Not going to call that a foul. With two players colliding, reaching for the ball. One goes through. Oh, and a goal sliding. Just diving desperately to get to that. I think that was off of Jordan Green for Concordia. That one was headed for the far corner. Throw in for Hastings near side. Felix Prosel. Essie. Now, 1-2, looking for Chris Hawk, trying to get the forward his first goal of the new campaign. Through ball from Prosel over to Hawk. And Hawk comes away with it. And lifted through, trying to pick out Ramsey again for a natural hat trick. That one wasn't long enough for him. Chamberlain now for Concordia. McDougwan looking for Givze, and coming away with it is the defender, Shane Davidson, who's now cheating all the way up forward. He makes a run. Now he's in an offside position. Now going to make a run for Boss. Can he get there in time? No. Collected calmly. Good time to come off the line from the goalkeeper. 40th minute. 2-0, the Hastings Broncos on top of the Concordia Oregon Cavaliers. Both teams predicted to win their respective conference. It's really their out-of-conference matchups both teams need to work on. Right now, Hastings coming away with the advantage by 2 goals, and they have it in their own half, middle of the pitch, and it's going to be a really softly, poor play. And as a result, Allred's going to come forward for Concordia. Chamberlain, middle of the park, at the lip of the 18, and a lofted ball for Allred, who was making a darting inside run. He's going to have to chase it a little longer towards the byline, takes it and tried to get a pass on through, finds somebody in the middle, right at the penalty spot. It's cleared away. Now Hawk, just outside the center circle in his own half. Lays it off for Broody. Forward again, there's a lot of space between the midfielders and the back line. And it looks like a high line for Concordia, not really benefiting them right now. And Curler comes in, goalkeeper again off the line at the penalty spot, makes the save. Prevents anything else. What the advantage for Hastings is they've trained in this all summer. And in fact, it was a lot hotter than this. A couple days ago, it was up in the triple digits, but comes down just a little bit lower. And for Hastings, seemed a little cooler, but then again, still hot enough to cause problems as far as in preparation. But home game in the sense that the training in the hot weather is a benefit. Concordia in the middle of the park, trying to get it organized from the back. And from the flank, comes in. Gives in now and shoulder. Ooh, that's dangerous. That was right into the head. And I'm not sure what part of the elbow got the back. But that could have been a lot worse. So it's going to be a free kick for Concordia. Cavs trailing by a deuce. Have a free kick where it's going to be a lofted ball in. They're going to have to pick out ahead, and the obvious target is Chamberlain, standing in at 6'2", the center forward. It's going to be taken by Radcliffe McDougland. Hands up, and it's in the air looking for a blue head, and it does, but it's very weak. And it's put up right on a tee for Geyer to come out and grab it. 6 minutes from halftime. Another save by Geyer, who's been very, very calm manning the pipes. And surprisingly, he's got long sleeves on. He's not moving quite as much as other guys, but going to be sweating regardless. Throwing for Concordia, but we'll have to wait for it as subs are being made. Wholesale changes being made for both clubs. Danny Shanahan's going to come in. Eric Pryor as well for Hastings. Prosel's going to sit, as well as Cobbs. Concordia with it in the center circle. Carmichael. Now laid on back for Glainer. Carmichael again received an inside pass from his fullback. Now it's back inside where it's lost again. There's that last little length missing from the Concordia Cavaliers right now. Trying to go around a body Pryor with his first touch of the ball in his own half, loses it, and far side, and, well, lofted ball, another wasted opportunity. Rare to see possession there for Concordia. They did have a preseason matchup against a club from British Columbia. Won that game 2-0 over the University College of Fraser Valley. Part of the Cascade Collegiate Conference. Right now, they're out-of-conference struggles over the past few years continue, but here could be an opportunity right here. But coming back and defending well, Jake Essie with a great standing challenge is able to take Sinsner off the ball. Was looking to play through ball in and drawing a foul right there. was Nick Zarins, and he appears to be shaken up by that as he went up in the air to battle with Eli Goiner, but that, if you ask me, that looked a little exaggerated on the part of the forward, but got the job done. Three minutes from halftime. Here's Essie with a free kick. Going to try to loft it in and get the third tally for Hastings. He finds ahead of a defender. And as a result, it's won a corner for the Broncos. It's going to be taken by Thomas Boss. Far side coming in, going to try to pick out a white shirt. Comes in, flicked on, and the in-the-air layoff for Ortley wasn't any good. Was at his chest, really would have had a hard time grabbing at that one. Coming forward, Jivza now coming on is Prudy right along with his matching jersey number. And he's able to tackle it away into touch for an attacking throw-in for Concordia. 2 minutes to go. Danny Morato, one of the changes, is in now. First touch is chested down off a throw-in, and he loses possession of it. Shanahan tries to loft it over all the heads, but Allred knocks it down, and here's a long ball. And Geyer thought about collecting it, but noticed it was going over his head, so he let it go, and it'll be a goal kick here in the final 100 seconds of the first half here. Hastings capitalizing on two opportunities, both curveballs in from the left from Cobbs to Ramsey. Both those guys now sit on the bench as the heat is just cooking this pitch, made of field turf. Last few chances now for Concordia if they want to come in within a goal. Heading into the dressing room, down only by 1 instead of 2, but
1 minute remaining.
Gonna have some work to do. They've really only had a few chances to get one in on the keeper, and there's one right there. Would have been wide anyway, but just taking a precaution. Geyer comes out and collects it, dives on top of it in the final minute. Takes a look back at the clock before he'll dispatch it upfield. He decides to put it on the ground first and waste as much time as he can before lifting it forward. Head battle again. Essie way high in the air. And there's an obvious foul tugging away. That has to be at least a yellow card because that was an opportunity to go for a goal. However, he wasn't the last man between him and the goalkeeper. Saw that happen in the Premier League earlier in the day. Johnny O'Shea for Sunderland getting sent off in the final 12 minutes. But right there, trouble is avoided as no cards come out. As the horn sounds, it comes up into the air. It'll be launched right towards the Concordia dressing room door, but the home crowd happy with what they saw. And really, it's been the finishing that would have been key today. And right now, Hastings has that advantage, finishing 2 out of 4 chances. And right now, going to be a 15-minute intermission as teams will head into the air-conditioned rooms and figure out what they need to do to win. And for Concordia, the task's a little more difficult than it is for Hastings, as Hastings up on Concordia, Oregon, 2-0. It's halftime. We'll bring you the second half in about 14 minutes' time.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, pleasure.
Concordia University, Irvine. Concordia is about discovery, discovering what your interests are and what you're passionate about. It's about developing the skills you need to serve the world around you. It's about pursuing what you love and helping you turn your vision into a reality. My name is David Dargitz, and I found my gifts at Concordia University. I'm a senior at Concordia University, Irvine. Concordia is about discovery, discovering what your interests are and what you're passionate about. It's about developing the skills you need to serve the world around you. It's about pursuing what you love and helping you turn your vision into a reality. My name is David Dargitz, and I found my gifts at Concordia University.
Rising from the south central Nebraska prairie is Hastings College. Founded in 1882, this private four-year liberal arts institution is dedicated to high academic achievement, intellectual discovery, and deliberate mentoring. It's all about community, athletics, music, the arts. It's where you'll enjoy a vibrant college experience while preparing for a successful career and a meaningful life. Hastings College in Hastings, Nebraska. Rising from the south central Nebraska prairie is Hastings College. Founded in 1882, this private four-year liberal arts institution is dedicated to high academic achievement, intellectual discovery, and deliberate mentoring. It's all about community, athletics, music, the arts. It's where you'll enjoy a vibrant college experience while preparing for a successful career and a meaningful life. Hastings College in Hastings, Nebraska.
back at Lloyd Wilson Field here in Hastings, Nebraska. Rob Greisinger with you, bringing you Turbo Sports' National Men's Soccer Game of the Week, presented by the NSCAA and Admiral Soccer. NAIA, two top 15 teams battling each other hard in the heat. And it's number 13, Hastings College. The Broncos on top of the Concordia, Oregon Cavaliers. 2-0. 2 goals, both of them scored by Jake Ramsey, junior from Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah, about an hour's drive, hour and a half's drive away from here, I'd say. But he came up big on 2 sweeping crosses, once diving, reaching out for the ball, and the other one lifted his toe up and volleyed it past Alex Gross, the goalkeeper for Concordia. Also of note, 2 yellow cards were issued in the first half. Jake Essie for Hastings, a dissent yellow card after what he thought was a poor offside call that had sent winger Drew Cobbs down the left side looking for that first goal. And then the second one was against Eli Glainer of Concordia. That one, a bad play where he really took out a runner who was heading towards the goal. So, 2 yellow cards also the issue, but seen an even number amount of corner kicks and free kicks, as this game has had its moments where it looks like it's about to become a physical battle, but then it's tapered off just a little bit. But really coming into this match, there were 2 guys that Hastings wanted to look for, and that would be the top 2 scorers who returned this year. Michael Chamberlain, a 6'2 forward from Hawaii, and the hometown boy, Septi Danshu, both combining for 27 of the goals scored last year for Concordia. And for right now, Hastings has shut them down. And Concordia has yet to come out of the dressing room, and they are just starting to make their way out, as there is barely enough time to get settled on the bench. But you need 2 teams to play, so they will take their sweet old time as they'll maximize all of the 15 minutes they are given for the intermission. But as they come back out, they got a task ahead of them that is a little bit daunting, but they do have one small benefit, and that is the possibility of the sun in the corner of the eye of the Hastings goalkeeper. And, well, that could be the deciding factor later on, as Alex Glainer, a sophomore also from Lincoln, Nebraska, being a key member, is the capital of Nebraska being represented well on the soccer side of things. As Jake Ramsey scoring both goals, and his goalkeeper helping him out in that front. And it's been a battle of possession, and it's really been even. It's more of who's been able to keep it. And Concordia has not done that well here in the early going in this regular season opener. And both teams looking to start 1-0 in the regular season in non-conference play. Dan Berkey now just making his way back to the bench in his 26th year, looking for win number 336, but it's going to need at least 3 goals to do that, and just 45 minutes to play. Here in Hastings, Nebraska, America's heartland, feels like America's oven right about now, with temperatures high 80s, lower 90s. Temperature was right at 90 degrees at kickoff. Sun going down, that'll help a little bit in the shade. Well, it could be about 10 to 15 degrees different. And there is some partial shade there, as you can see it at the 50-yard line, just before the center circle is coming into play here as we get to 6:15 local time. Concordia had taken the kickoff to start the match, so it will be Hastings to take it, who will attack the goal to your right. And Concordia in blue, they'll attack the goal to the left, and it's going to be a quick start and a quick running attempt, looking to pick out there Jake Ramsey. He's now playing on the wing. He's going to not catch up with that, and it's going to be Concordia with the early attempt to get goal number 1. But again, they lose possession, and Hastings right where they left off, controlling possession right now. At the halfway line, right along the near touchline. And, well, 2 players about ready to take the throw, and it's going to be which one is going to be legal, and it's going to be Hastings with it. It's Nick Fagloni. He's going to get it now. There's a running ball looking, and coming out and slide tackling away from Evan Corus was Glainer. Good job there to allow the defensive support to get back. Looked like he would have had a clear shot at goal, but he timed it perfectly to get to the ball right at the top of the 18. And fighting off the challenge there, would have been a foul anyway. Staying on his feet is Thomas Boss. Lifting ball that's going to just trickle all the way down towards the byline. And the keeper, Alex Gross, will let it go. Scott Gross, excuse me. Thinking of another guy, but regardless, he'll collect it, punt it up forward, and give it a good 60 yards before it comes down off the head of G. Fagloni again. It's off of him. It's going to be a throw-in for Concordia. It's going to be Allred to throw it in, who's playing on a yellow card. The left back for Concordia. Throws it down towards the feet of Chamberlain. Has it in, spinning around. McDougallin weaving his way through traffic, and he's able to take it to the byline. Still had it after it deflected off a defender trying to play one inside, but he had a body on him. And Boss will come up with it for Hastings and clear it out. And the Broncos again going to cut up forward. Guthrie and stepping on the foot right there was Carmichael. Stepping on Prosel's foot, he went down rather late. Didn't like the call, but right at the, just about the kickoff spot, right in the middle of the Hastings logo is going to be a free kick inside the center circle. Going to play it far towards one of the trouble men that Concordia couldn't control, really. Got lucky on an offside call once. Cobbs. Now Cobbs with it again, wins it back. Guthrie, middle of the park, tried to sweep it alongside for Boss. It was just too far out of reach for him. And misplaying it, and Quinn Sinzer not happy with himself, not really paying attention to where the touchline was looking up the field, looking for somebody to pick out and to send somebody on a run, looking for Jivzer or Evan Corus, who was pleading to get a run down the right side flank really much the entire time since he came on off the bench. Stays in the match. Had a good run there, but he was, well, held by Hastings, who are now in the attack at half. Final third of the pitch now. Essie looking around. Does a 360 survey and ends up dumping it off. And McDougallin looking for a studs-up foul there, but was clean from Prosel. But far side battle continues as the fouls that have been fouls have been called. The bad ones have been accounted for. Gross will come out, collect at the top of the box and try to lift it above everybody. Looking for Chamberlain. Chamberlain jumping in there, and he led with the elbow, and that should be a card. And reaching for the pocket is the match official, Brent Wilson, and into the book goes Chamberlain. So that's the third booking of the match, second one on a Cavalier. And that was the most lethal of the ones that happened before. Been flirting with some dangerous territory, and any elbow that goes into the head, and got to worry about concussions, and right there, that is a clear example of where officiating can prevent that from happening. So Geyer will restart play. Goalkeeper launches it forward, comes to the head of Boss, and now Hastings again with a loose ball, able to come up with it. However, stepping in front of it was Green. Now another call for a handball. The shout is ignored by the referee, Wilson. And now here's Cobbs in space in the 18-yard box. Eludes one defender, then two. Tries a shot. It's blocked. Too much traffic. Here comes Ramsey, and it's tackled away by Oreg. And it went off Ramsey. He thought the ball didn't touch him, but it got him on the back of the calf. As a result, it's a goal kick. As 5 minutes has been played. Here in the second half, 51st minute, we are waiting for the restart from Scott Gross, the goalkeeper for Concordia. So that'll bring in the leading goal scorer for Concordia in 2012, Septi Danshu, a hometown boy. The campus that's not too far from downtown Portland. Danshu will feel right at home as he comes in for Chamberlain, who was given that yellow card up in the air, and he had to have been careful of that. He'll have a rest, as perhaps he'll be used later in the match. Trying to make a play and run up the far flank. It's blocked by Nick Herzberg, who came in the first half, junior from Fairbanks, Alaska. He has it in his hands right now for a throw-in on the far side right in front of the Bronco bench. Trying to get it off the top of the coconut of Chorus. Missed it, tried the flick on. Here comes Ramsey again on, and he has the hat trick! Number 4 with 3 goals. And he slotted that one. That was the easiest one of the match for him, and he has the natural hat trick. 3-0 to score. So really, it's Jake Ramsey 3, Concordia 0. And it's the Hastings Broncos who are in command now, and Chris Hawk will replace the goal scorer, Ramsey, who will no doubt about it be the man of the match if the score holds up right now. The music's still playing as play is restarted. It's a foul in the process against Hastings. Carmichael to McDougland, and almost it looked like a hold there, but it was legal as Chamberlain was held up there by Ortlieb. So now Hastings going to look for a 4th goal. Or will they sit back and let some freshmen get some playing time? Sliding challenge away as Chorus tried to go forward. Chamberlain now middle of the park after the throw-in. Middle third. Oh, and a hard challenge, a late challenge, sticking the foot in there late was McDougland, and he'll go into the book. Referee's assistant waving the flag adamantly. But Wilson, the referee, didn't really need the help as put the whistle to his mouth immediately and immediately reached for the pocket and books his 3rd Concordia Cavalier. 4th of the match. And we still have more than a third of the way to go. SC going to play a long free kick. This is good 40 yards out. And it misses all the targets in white. But the clearing attempt looking for Chamberlain missed him completely, and now Hastings again going to loft it forward. Not sure why you'd loft it that high. Looking for Cobbs, who had to come all the way out for it, and it ends up going out over the touchline in midair for a Concordia throw, and they just look all sorts of confused right now. And it's going to be a free kick. Did not see the infraction. That would have resulted in a free kick, but regardless, Concordia will take it. And Danshu takes it, and it's off his chest way too hard, too much pace, and he will hand Hastings another throw. 3-0, and the clearing attempt by Essie's knocked down by Danshu. Goes over the touchline for a throw again. And Hastings once again will push forward, get that fourth goal that undoubtedly would be the game winner. Here's an opportunity. Could be 3v2 if they hurry, but the play up forward was rushed. However, the ball goes over, and it did go off. Last touch by Concordia, so it will be a corner. Had we been playing on natural grass, that might have stayed in, but it's going to be a corner regardless. It comes to the benefit of Hastings, who have controlled really from at least the 2/3 that we've played. Boss lofting one into the box, climbing over everybody, and good jumping header by Ortlieb. It's just the problem was he didn't get enough head on it. So Gross is able to punt it up forward, as there is urgency in Concordia's side. And nothing appears to be going Concordia's way, as that decision, again, is another foul. That time against Danshu, and he's got to be careful, because he is starting to rack up fouls, and that could result in a yellow card for him as well. He's one of the few that has not been shown that piece of plastic that you never want to see come out. '55th minute. It's headed up. And 50-50 ball again. That time it was actually won by Chamberlain. He looked like he was ready to push Davidson out of the way. He did it. But the ball was right even with both of them. Here's a through ball for Chamberlain. 1v1 with the keeper. Can he settle it? Yes, he does. He has to play it back in. And nobody there at the top of the sixth. The right idea, but nobody there for Concordia. All they really need is that goal to get them over that little hump that they put themselves in. And it's Jivza who was the intended target there, but he didn't expect a pass. And a nice shielding cover there by the defender for Hastings, and it'll be a goal kick. And while we wait for Gwainer to do that, we would like to remind you at Turbo Sports Group you can purchase a video download of any contest of this fall's Game of the Week series by heading to our website at turbosportsgroup.com. Make the order, and Turbo Sports will send you an email link to the download, and it'll be yours to keep in its entirety forever. It's gone out on the far side in front of the Bronco bench. Headed up in the air by Chamberlain. Looking for a player. 4 bodies converge, 2 for each side, and it's Concordia that comes up with it. It's McDougwin, and he gave it away. Now it's Guthrie battling, and the pulling and tugging is a result of another free kick for Hastings, as Carmichael's the offender right there. The scoreline says Hastings 3, Concordia 0, but you can give Jake Ramsey all those tallies, who's now on the bench. Free kick taken all the way up high in the air. The flag went up. And Ortlieb is offside. Says only his head and shoulders were behind the line, but It's when the ball leaves, and if you see a little bit offside here, hold the phone there. Ooh, and a good challenge getting that one away. Davidson saved what would have been a definite scoring chance for Concordia. There was a running player there. And here's a head knocked down to the feet of Chamberlain. Score off the left foot. So Chamberlain opens his 2013 goal account to keep his team in the game. It's now 3-1. Just needed to find that opportunity. There were several chances in the first half that weren't converted, but now things don't seem so definite for Hastings. And the same play to start the half is made. There's the tip from Boss to Essie. Looking for Cobbs is too far for him. Now Boss will step in front of the path of Danshu and intercept that one. Down the near side touchline. Backheels it. Cobbs takes a touch, looks behind him. Now plays it off to Gifagloni. Hawk with it. Back across now 1-2. Looking for a run. Would have been offside anyway, but now the line resets, and now Cobbs turns, drops forward, launches one in there, looking for a deflection and volley from Guthrie. He was held up there, and it was right at the keeper Gross. That wasn't the intended play there. It ends up counting as a shot on target. Now a ball's played way too forward. Here comes Chamberlain again, using his size to his advantage. Big center forward. Here comes a lofting cross in there, and it's cleared away. Mopped up there at the back from the fullback there. Now there's a challenge again, and Prudy saved another opportunity right there, and it goes off of a Cavalier. It'll be a Bronco goal kick. So the wick has been turned up just a little bit more from Concordia, and they know it. They have to push forward as we've entered that final third of the game. As we've played an hour. Middle of the park running forward, trying to slot one inside for Guthrie from Boss. That is tidied up and cleared out by the midway stripe, and in the attacking half, throw-in comes in from Hastings. Broody, the left back, getting involved there. Now coming up forward is that Ramsey again? Still can't tell as it's ping and pong and tethering around. Here comes Cobbs a go, and that's wide. That was Hawk who had made that run down the far side. Didn't hear Ramsey come back in, but it looked like him, looked like his number. And right now it seems that he might be needed again if his name is called upon again. Chris Kranjic is going to have a decision to make. Should Concordia come up with another goal? Here comes, ooh, a heavy strike. Comes in, it's too high. Chorus that was. And it changed direction, so it's going to be a corner, and huge corner of the game. This is perhaps the biggest one. Geyer got his fingertips on that. So Radcliffe McDouglin's going to try to find someone's got the sun right in his eyes, shields his face, tries to pick somebody out, and he'll just give it a whack, send it in, and just about missed. Just about got his intended target, but it missed. Guthrie trying to spring everybody on a counterattack. Finds Cobbs on the right flank. Keeps it in on the near side. Trying to go around Danshu. Cobbs does into the 18. Splits that guy Allred, and he's tripped up. And it's going to be a goal kick. The stumbling Cobbs will appeal, but the shout is not going to earn him a penalty spot. Kick. "28 minutes from time And Gross is going to set up an opportunity for Concordia again as a change is made. It's the first time we've seen Ken Buzrewski from Seattle. Middle of the park. Boss makes a run as Cobbs looks for room. And now tying up with the feet are the sixes, Jordan Green and Chris Hawk. McDougland settles it. One touched over to a teammate, Garrett Haman. Far side, Bazuski, he gets taken off the ball, and now it's Hawk for Hastings. Back for Prosel. Wafted up back again, and now will it be Concordia who can strip the ball and take it away? But again, not able to settle it. Here's Hawk far side, left side flank. Has Prosel making an overlapping run back to his left. He'll decide to go back in field. But he gives it away as he didn't see Ben Culpin in the middle. Danchu, the intended through ball target right there. It's cleared away again as the line is going to have to hold the fire. Gottlieb there. Now it's Broody who's going to have to shield. Ooh, and that's a foul. So he took him out completely, and that might be a yellow card for Broody. And it will be. Fifth time that Brent Wilson has reached for his pocket. He'll stop the clock and record the infraction. Second yellow card against a Hastings Bronco 3 against Concordia. Now it seems that the tides have turned as things seem to be going more Concordia's way. And the referee will use this as the break for the second half. It seems that Dan Berkey's not happy with something. I guess he's going to have it be a throw. No, that was the opportunity to... Thought perhaps that would have been the time to take that water break in this heat, but it's just a throw-in as the ball is shielded as it's thrown in, and Broody got his job done right there, keeping Danchu off the ball. So we play on with the clock rolling here in the 64th minute. Might just see Alex Geyer taking that extra second or two to make his gloves tighter. Look both ways in extra time. Just to waste that little bit more time as his team's up by 2, but if they can avoid the Broncos, the in white, they can keep the artillery fire from reaching their line, they will be okay if the score holds. Throw in for Concordia, near side. Thrown in. Culpin trips over something. Might have caught a stud in the grass there. Synthetic grass, that is. Guthrie in the middle of the park takes it away from Allred. Two guys collide together, both going for the ball. They both sliding in, trying to gain an advantage. They both got there at the same time. Nobody getting hurt right there as we have another substitution. McDougland's going to sit, get a breather. Don't expect to see him out of the match for very long. So there's a throw in near side again as Concordia tries to break through the line once more. They did it once in this half and resulted in a Michael Chamberlain goal. The long attacking throw ineffective as a corner off the shoulder of a Cavalier, and there's a handball. It was handled by Hersberg. Quick restart here, trying to catch Concordia off guard was Glainer for Hastings, and the Broncos Want to get that 3-goal cushion back. Essie. Swept alongside. Cifagloni. Cobbs, who's been trouble. However, he was doing it on the left side flank. Now he's doing it on the right side. It's taken away, stripped there by Green. Culpin. And the number 10 for Concordia had it tipped away as he tried to loft one. A man looking for Septi Danciu. Senior from Romania. Bristita, if you're familiar with the geography. Another chance for Hastings, but this time the line is held again. It's by Gwainer that time. Hastings still with it with Hawk at the ball. Waits for a teammate to make a run. And the through ball is played from Boss, but nobody making the run. And Gross will come out and collect and try to restart. The try for a second goal. Long ball looking for Culpin. Ends up getting the wrong 18. As another sub will be made. And guess who will come back in? Jake Ramsey in for Chris Hawk. Cobbs is also going to come out. He will make his way off. No, he's not. He's going to switch sides. Back to his more potent side. He's got enough pace to run by the left side defenders for Concordia, who are going to try to win the ball right here. Green won it. Handed it back to Haman, and now forward and shielding almost illegally. Right there for Hastings. Ortley allowed enough time for his keeper to come out and snare it, so now the gamesmanship's already starting as Gwainer wants his 6 yards. But Tanner French, he wants the 6-second rule. Be an indirect free kick if it was used, but regardless of that, it is played up after he just went around him. Now French with it, through ball for Danciu. He has space, he tried to reach out for it, and it is going to be a corner as it went off of Shane Davidson right at the last second at the byline, and that will be the break. So we're going to play sort of quarters, 20-minute quarters. But right there, that almost would have been a corner. It did go off of one of the Broncos right at the byline, but it was on the out-of-bounds line there for a goal kick as the decision was eventually changed. So teams will get their water while... as I would like to let you know that, or ask you for that matter, are you an aspiring professional soccer player? Are you looking for a chance to get exposure to scouts at the next level? Well, the 3rd annual Turbo Pro Soccer Combine offers the top collegiate soccer players in the nation with an opportunity to showcase their talents in front of professional clubs that is all over the nation. More than 180 players attended in the last 2 years, with more than 35 of them signing contracts at the pro or pro development level. You can learn more at turbosportsgroup.com. So that little break in the action is a water break. Chance to rehydrate. As that sun sets more, that shade of the press box is now taken up a little more than half of the center circle. And the north goal is the one who's seen all 4 in the match. 1 for Concordia, 3 for Jake Ramsey and the Hastings Broncos. And I take that back. The south goal was the third goal. So right now it's one answered goal. The clock's technically not supposed to restart until the ball is put back in play, but would be real interested to see if it would have restarted had it been a Concordia goal kick. Started a little prematurely right there, but regardless, we play on. Goes unnoticed. Boss connects with Ramsey, the goal scorer. And a push from Guthrie in the back of Jordan Green, and Green is able to shield Guthrie from that ball. Both guys targeted to do the scoring are wearing the 1-5 on the back of their shirt, and it's happened once. Ooh, and that was a knee-to-knee collision, and Danchu went in there. I'm not exactly sure what he was doing right there, going after that ball so far out, hoping that there would be a rebound, and it went knee-to-knee with the goalkeeper. And now going to see a discussion between Brent Wilson and his assistant on the far side, because if they determine that there was intent there, someone, not only that would be getting a foul, but they would be sent off. So the clock is stopped once again here in the 70th minute. That's what Hastings is protesting right now, is that they need to see Septi Danchu sent off because of the attempt of running into the goalkeeper. And right now at the moment, it appears to be one of those stingers that the shin guard caught most of it. So no red card. Clock is stopped. See that it is restarted a little sooner again, but much closer to the actual first kick. So it set to enter the final 20 minutes, and Concordia going to have to turn it up a little bit more if they want to try to win it. Far side, touchline in front of the bench. Concordia advancing up with it. Goes out as they can't maintain possession of it. It's thrown in by Broody. Connects with Prosel. Now it's lofted in the air. Plenty of hang time for Green to catch up to that one for Concordia, and the header goes in the wrong direction. And now that time-wasting tactic of backing up, letting it roll to you, has already started, and Danchu will cut up forward again and get in the face of the keeper Glaner, and now he'll start to come up forward as it's placed and launched up at the last second, now coming in through. Going to have to volley it up, and takes a lot of skill to do what you just saw from Tyler Ortlieb, now a junior defender. Back in field, Ramsey, the goal scorer. And Ramsey gets taken out, but referee says that he hopped over the leg, or at least made an attempt to. Now Ramsey's left tying his boot in an offside position. But he quickly reties, and he's back into the action. Three-man front still for Hastings, so they are still attacking-minded. Prosel stepped up by Cobbs. Now it's Ramsey. Can he do it again? Try to match his jersey numbers. Does a couple step-overs, but he has to retreat back and hand it off to Boss. Essie, middle of the park. Sweeps it far side for Cobbs. Now we're going to play the possession game. Little one-touch now seen from Hastings as they will try to slow the game down. Here's a through ball attempt in the air, cross attempt for Cobbs. It's missed, and offside is Guthrie. As that took a deflection, he was already behind the line, and it'll be the same as a goal kick, as he was right at the 6-yard box when the flag went up. Well, Jake Ramsey's 3 goals have been the difference right now. 1 unanswered goal scored by Michael Chamberlain. And he'll try to make do with more opportunities. He's with it after Danchu got it to him. He got his feet tangled up with Ortlieb, who's been more than a thorn in his side. Launching ball forward, here comes Ramsey. He's going to come into the top of the penalty arc. Ooh, and a studs-up challenge. And here comes the red. Holy Toledo, did that just happen? Studs-up challenge, going to challenge the goalkeeper, and the man with the hat trick is sent off with a red card. Saw the identical play at the other end, but that one was a little more violent, and the back pocket is what the referee reached for, and without hesitation will send off Ramsey, going in studs up, studs first, into the shin of the goalkeeper, and he not only is out of this match, he will be out the next one as well, as Ramsey will be sent to the shower just a little bit early. How often I've never seen that happen. How often does it happen where a guy who scored a hat trick is sent off? And I think Hastings wouldn't have much of an issue as they do with it if they hadn't seen the exact same play 3 minutes prior. They got that 2-goal cushion, but now that Hastings is down to 10 men, will that extra little bit of space be enough for Concordia to score that second goal that they so desperately need, and they'll need another one after that. Here's Ulrich. He's playing on a yellow card. He's pushed off the ball by Guthrie, and he laid one too softly off, looking for Boss. Instead, he found Haman, who's a freshman, now Tanner French. Middle of the park, listed as a defender, now in the middle, getting into the attack. Kelpin plays it back to Ulrich. It's blocked, and Guthrie intercepts that one. He's going to try to battle 1v2. Will be 1v3, looking for help. Boss is the nearest target to him, about 30 yards away from him, so he has no choice but to play it back for Proso. Gifagloni battling with French, and it's going to be a throw-in. There was a little bit of a hold right there. And that other tactic by infield players that when you win a throw-in, when you have a lead, pick it up, look, and then, oh, I'll take it. Ball's over the touchline in Concordia. Getting very antsy right now, and as they should. Would be worried if they didn't. And Garrett Henman emphatic that the ball belonged to his side, that it stayed in play, but the excitement is not going to last long, as we're going to have another sub. Both sides are going to make one change. Coming off for Concordia is Ken Bazuski. He's going to make way for Radcliffe McDougland, who's going to try to organize the comeback. Already one unanswered goal, and for Hastings, it's going to be Nicholas Zarens, who's back into the match. Didn't see who he replaced, but just look to see who's missing. And I can imagine that Chris Granch is going to be regretting that he put Jake Ramsey back into the match, not just for the rest of this one, but the next one as well, especially with a 2-goal lead. But Hastings not going to give up just yet. The 2-10s go into a challenge. Both got the ball, but Boss was the beneficiary at the end of that one. And he gets it, and Hastings more than likely is going to try to hold the ball as much as they can. Cut up forward, then cut right back into the open slot. Far side now. Zarens Back square for Cobbs. Tries to go 1v1 with McDougland. It's still with Hawk now as he laid it off from Zarins. Now Hastings wins a throw-in as they were so close to the touchline. You just kick it off the shins of your opponent. You win a throw-in. Opportunity to waste more time. The scoreline, really, it's closer than what it should be. 2 goals can be quite a deficit, and still got plenty of time left. Some 13 minutes and change. Starting to take it to the corner and just shield until you last possible second and go for each hack. The corner flag is down. And is the referee doing what I think he's doing? He's making the player do it? Or is he just moving the throw-in back? Appears he's just asking for the throw-in to be played further back. And apparently the wrong team had it. The referees had a story of a game. Been busy reaching for the pocket, having to keep players calm as well. There's been only 1 yellow card that has been as the result of dissent, which undoubtedly was some colorful language. Concordia trying to mount that comeback. Culpin still with it, avoids 2 players. He ends up having Essie coming in on a challenge. He ended up sliding into his own body. Now he's along the deck and gets right back up, and Allred, the fullback, going to throw it in softly. Culpin along the touchline, then takes it to the byline, tries a left-footed cross, but it's right to a man in white, Shane Davidson. And the clearing attempt is out, as the urgency has to pick up if you're Concordia right now. One of 2 teams named Concordia that Hastings will play. It's chested down, laid off, save! What a save by Glainer! That one was headed straight for the twine, but it was right at the keeper. And man, the guy who thought he had started to celebrate the goal before he even shot it. But the goalkeeper, Alex Glainer, keeps it 3-1 in favor of his Hastings Broncos. Undoubtedly, this is the game of the week in the NAIA. Little break in the action, trying to find a new ball. And if you just stepped aside a second, would know that the guy who's scored all 3 goals for Hastings was sent off. Studs up. Challenge against the goalkeeper. Now if they're going to have to find another goal scorer, and here's Cobbs. He eludes 3 men, tries a cross in, looking for Prosel, who was impressed with what he saw. He forgot to advance forward, put that one on goal. Final 10 minutes now, as that one is going to be, is that a corner? Yes, it is. The corner flag had kept the ball in play for a little while, and as a result, it went off the foot of one of the Cavs, and for now, we will still see a corner coming from the far side southeast corner. Played short, and it'll be a time-wasting corner. Culpin off the end of that one, trying to reach in and get it off of Cobbs, and he accomplishes his goal right there for the time being. Thrown in. Threw it in quickly, but he didn't realize there was a substitution being made, and it's going to be the goal scorer for Concordia, Michael Chamberlain, who undoubtedly has to be absolutely gassed from all the work he's had to do, but right now it's his back line that needs to hold right now. Here's Cobbs, goes to the deck, trying to draw the PK. It's just outside the box, and once again the shout ignored. And now it's time for Concordia to come back as they have the ball right now. McDougallin taken out by SE, who... Well, that's where a good foul in soccer would be, to quell an attack, let your midfield get back and help out the back four in this case. A little miscommunication up top as Danchu was out of the way of that one. The clearing attempt, however, goes right back to a blue shirt, Nick Herzberg, who's back in the match. Green, center half for Concordia, links up with Gleaner. Lip of the 18, shot on right into a wall of white. Long ball going towards the flank. Green to McDougallin. He settles it down after some volley juggling. Now he goes 1v1 with Broody, and Broody blocks the cross as best he can, and it's played up. Hastings bringing out the brooms and mops as they, again, get the ball out of danger. It's just that final third that Concordia has had trouble with. They had several chances early, and those early goals that never came for them are really the difference right now. Ball's up in the air once more. Aerial balls being played as Hastings is going to try to waste some more time. Guthrie able to shield away from Haman. Boss now in the middle of the park, dribbling. Through ball up ahead. Surprisingly not taking it to the corner is Guthrie, and shielding it and trying to win a goal kick, and mission accomplished for Oreg.
Number 6, Chris Hauk, and number 15, Thomas Guthrie.
So Hauk in the match, Guthrie as well, coming in here in the final 6 minutes. Fagloni wanted to spring somebody on down into the attacking third, but nobody had their head towards him, and he was the one with the ball. So Concordia to mount an attack from the back, trying to loft it by the back four. Here's Kelpin. It's deflected by Gifagloni. And again, those bounces are going Hastings' way right now. Boss, far side to Hawk. Got back in field. It's going to take his time. Goes far side for Prosel. Near touchline. He'll just take his time, try to waste some time, wait for the defender to come up and challenge him, and he is able to keep it in along that yellow touchline. Back in the middle of the park, and Hawk taking off the ball. Thought he was fouled. But we play on. Now the lofting ball up forward as another Concordia change is waiting to come on. Ball's got to go out first, though. Here in the 86th minute. Up forward, here's Hawk. Edge of the 18-yard box, comes in it. His left foot settles it and takes a touch with his right and passes it off. 18 yards from goal. It goes from Prosel as Hastings now playing keep away. Prosel. Check that. Gifagloni for Prosel, and it's taken away by Kelpin. A man now all the way out to his fullback. Herzberg up forward again. That time for Sam Johnson, his first touch of the match, came in for the goal scorer, Michael Chamberlain. And there's a clear foul. Chopping away at the back of the ankles. Johnson, the offender. Bosk getting a face full of artificial turf. And it's going to be a free kick. And Essie, surprisingly, takes it quickly, trying to catch Concordia asleep and get that third tally, or that 3-goal tally lead. And, well, there's another change going to be made, and it's going to be Evan Corus again. Back into the match, really shown some promise out on the flank. Had made a deep run, but he just didn't catch up to the ball. He's back in, and Culpin had to run off the field. Probably the hardest run he's made all day was the one to the bench so that his team could still have an opportunity to come back in the last 3 minutes or so. And have another giveaway as looks like Hastings has just about wrapped this up. They would just need to hold off really one last good attack before they can consider themselves winners. Against the number 11 team, and they will certainly move up in the NAIA rankings with a victory, but Concordia is still with it. Here's Green playing way up high, sets it up, looking to pick somebody out, lifts it high and almost to the road behind the park here. So it's going to be a goal kick, and I'd imagine it's going to be a long time before we actually see it taken. Might even see the clock get stopped. And unlike in FIFA sanctioned matches, the clock does not count up, and stoppage time does not get added on as it's not added up. There's one watch on the referee, and it pretty much matches the one on the scoreboard, which is now under 2 minutes, and it's going to roll out as the attack from Hawk is thwarted again. Herzberg at the end of that one. Under 100 seconds. Guthrie, the intended target, will take it to the corner flag, and it looked like it went over. It might have just been on that last little blade of yellow right there, but the referee says goal kick, and once again Concordia going to work up forward. There's still time here. They can come back with a goal here. All they need to do is run back up the field with the stopped clock and start to move on up. But flick on right there, stopped at the feet of the goalkeeper is Carmichael. He had one come up to him on his head, but picking it up is Geyer. Holding on to it as long as he can before the protests begin, and it didn't take long for those to start from the Cavs, and it's lofted up way, way long and all the way back at the 30-yard line, some 60, 70 yards away from the goal, and now it's going to be Concordia again up forward, and the play looking for Sam Johnson was too far, and now it was cleared away from danger, from off the boot of Broody. Under a minute now, and that was the last-ditch effort as it will roll into touch by the Hastings bench, and the countdown has begun. McDougallin kicks it up forward, looking for one last run and flick from Carmichael, but Shane Davidson is able to prevent that from happening, and that's it. That's all she wrote from the hosts as they win it by a score of 3-1 over the Concordia Oregon Cavaliers. Now, these two teams will play again on Sunday as a little round-robin tournament is going on here at Lloyd Wilson Field. Very hot day. Temperature-wise, play-wise, fouls-wise, as those cards in the pocket of the referee, Brent Wilson. He had to reach out for both colors, yellow and red. And the amazing thing about it is the red card was given to the man who is the only one to find the net for Hastings. The natural hat trick is rewarded with a red card. Have you ever seen, never before has a man of the match received a red card in recent history at any level, really. I mean, it has happened. I'm sure of it in the 100 and so odd years that there have been played of this game. There is, without a doubt, been a man of the match sent off, as the Broncos will continue to salute their fans who stuck it out with them. This game, again, the scoreline 3-1 really could have been closer than that, as a couple good saves by the keeper, Alex Geyer, prevented it from being closer, but it was ultimately the 3 goals from Jake Ramsey. Scored 5 last year, appeared only in 6 games, however, so he nearly had a goal a game last year. But he starts off with 3 goals a game to start this year, and really a good start for Hastings at home, hosting the 13th team. And we're going to try to talk to Jake Ramsey after just a brief break here at Lloyd Wilson Field. If you want to know what a man of the match who was sent off, scored a natural hat trick, thought about that, just stick around. We'll try to grab him after a little break.
At nscaa.com/education. Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, pleasure.
At Concordia University, Irvine. Concordia is about discovery. Discovering what your interests are and what you're passionate about. It's about developing the skills you need to serve the world around you. It's about pursuing what you love and helping you turn your vision into a reality. My name is David Dargitz, and I found my gifts at Concordia University.
Rising from the south central Nebraska prairie is Hastings College. Founded in 1882, this private four-year liberal arts institution is dedicated to high academic achievement, intellectual discovery, and deliberate mentoring. It's all about community, athletics, music, the arts. It's where you'll enjoy a vibrant college experience while preparing for a successful career and a meaningful life. Hastings College in Hastings, Nebraska.
3-1 your final score here at Lloyd Wilson Field. And as promised, the man of the match, Jake Ramsey, scoring a natural hat trick. So how did you find that space? You connected on 2 great crosses there to get the goals, and it ended up being a big key going into the latter part with Concordia's desperate attempts to go forward.
Well, we always, on the fours, we always work on making through runs when on some balls on the opposite side of the field, and so whenever Cobbs on the left side gets the ball, I always look to cut inside between the center back and the left back to find an open ball, and luckily I got a touch on it. and was able to direct it to goal.
Now, how were you able to get by those lines? Because they were very compact early on, and then once you found that hole, you had all kinds of space to go in there. Were you surprised by that, or what did you see there?
It's just all about timing the run right. Like, I see him winding up to kick it, so that's when I start off, so I'm even with the last defender, and I just try to get through there.
Now, looking at your last year's stats, you almost averaged a goal a game. Now you average 3. It's just one game, but even though you'll have to sit out next match, is that your goal to score a goal a game? I mean, how do you do it?
I just keep working. Last year, I actually tore my MCL 5 games in, and I was out the rest of the season, so it's good to be back. It was my first college game in 11 months, actually, and it took a lot of time for me to get back into game shape and work on my knee. So.
And with it being so hot, what was it like down there? Was it as hot as it felt up here? I mean, we got air conditioning, but it was still, you could see the heat down there. How hot was it? Just give us an idea.
It's always hot here, and Coach has his practice at 4:30 after classes every day, so we could get used to it a little bit, because he knew that in Oregon it wasn't near this hot, so we were used to it and they weren't. So we want to take advantage of it.
Now, I know you might not want to talk about it, but I have to at least ask you. The play going in where you got the red card, went in there lunging for the ball.
Yeah.
Was that just a matter of timing? Walk me through that.
I honestly thought I could get to the ball. I just timed it wrong, and I shouldn't have been studs up, but I was, and I got his ankle, and that was probably a red card deserved.
Well, that was your explanation. Probably the happiest man that's ever got a red card in the history of at least college soccer. We'll go with that. But Jake Ramsey, 3 goals on the day. Unfortunately, he's going to have to sit out on Sunday, but good hard day's work, getting 3 goals. Congratulations, and good luck to you for the rest of the season. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
So there you heard it from the man. Hastings Broncos win the match against Concordia, Oregon. 3-1. They'll face another Concordia team down the line. That one's from Nebraska, just down the road. There's a lot of Concordia universities around, but this one put up a fight till the bitter end, even down by 2 in the later stages of the match, and it really was up to the goalkeeper, Alex Geyer. If there was another guy I'd want to talk to, it would be him, because he took a challenge to the shin as well, but it was half of the challenge that Jake Ramsey had gone in there studs up, and you heard him. He, without a doubt, happy to put 3 tallies up on the scoreboard and give Hastings that win. So game number 2 of the game of the week, also very, very entertaining. And without a doubt, the 13th team coming into the day will move up in the standings after beating the 11th ranked Concordia, Oregon Cavaliers. Both teams wanting to make a push for a national championship. Both teams have the talent to do it. It's just a matter of executing it, getting the training in, and who knows what is going up next, because, they will face each other again next year, even though for those guys who are leaving, they still will be time to play the other team from Concordia. So, we saw it all. Saw a lot of yellow cards, saw goals, saw a man sent off. Happened to be a guy who scored a lot of goals as well. I'm Rob Greisinger. I'd like to thank a few people. Chase Needing, executive producer from the Turbo Sports Group. Buzz Mead is the on-site producer, and the camera people here today who will be the unnamed heroes, because I am not given a list of their names, but they deserve a lot of credit for bringing you this action from Hastings, Nebraska. Also streamed on NSCAATV.com. Next week, another game, another place from Hastings College in the middle of America's heartland in Hastings, Nebraska. Rob Greisinger signing off. Good night. Thank you for joining us